Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to another video. And today's video, this was actually requested. As I told you guys, please do not hesitate. If you have any questions, you can email me, you can comment it down. And this question was, I guess, it was emailed to me and asked for me to explain some formulas. So let's get right into it. If you have the Zama Time GAT book, the 2021, this is in Unit 2. It's the first page of Unit 2. It has like the formulas and stuff like that. So if you have it, you can, I guess, follow along. Like the formulas is in the first page. Okay, so I guess we will not only talk about that, we'll talk about like binomial expansion and factoring plus multiplying. And the formulas are going to be explained. And this is a part of the quantitative section of the GAT exam. Let's kind of just undo that because it's overlapped. Okay, now let's get started. So we have three main formulas, and basically what they're saying is that let's plug in some numbers to like better explain. This is gonna be 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay, so let's get started. So number 1 is basically saying let's plug in a 3 plus 2. 3 is A and 2 is B for this video, okay? So it's basically saying that what's 3 plus 2? 3 plus 2 is 5, and what's 5 squared? 5 squared is 25. Okay. It's basically saying that this is equal to this. And let's test it out, okay? So what's A? We said A is 3 squared. 3 squared is 9 plus 2AB plus B squared. Okay, so we said 3 squared is 9 plus what's 3 times 2? 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12, and then plus 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. And when you add these up, what is 9 plus 12? 9 plus 12 is 11 plus 21 plus 4 equals 25. And now we proved that number 1 is correct. That number 1, it's the same thing, basically saying. So if you encounter a question that has it in this format, know that it also means this format. Now let's test out number 2. Let's just erase it for more space, okay? Okay, so right now we're gonna test out number 2, which says it's the same thing but minus. And let's test it out, and we're gonna use the same number. So from now on, A equals 3 and B equals 2. Okay. So we said 3 minus 2. What's 3 minus 2? 3 minus 2 is 1. And what's 1 squared? It's 1. Okay, now let's test it out. What is 3 squared? 3 squared is 9, as we said, minus 2AB. We said B is 2 plus 2 squared. Okay. We have 9, and what's 3 times 2? 3 times 2 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, and plus 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. So, first and foremost, we have to just, I guess, solve this now. So, what is 9 minus 12? 9 minus 12 we know is negative 3, and then what's negative 3 plus 4? Negative 3 plus 4 equals, what's negative 3 plus 4? Negative 3 plus 4 is 1. Now we proved that 2 is correct, and now we know that that this is basically what 2 is saying, is that these are the same. So I guess you can combine 1 and 2. It's basically just stating the same thing, but plus and minus. Okay, now let's test out number 3. So 3 squared minus 2 squared. What's 3 squared, first of all? It's 9. Minus 2 squared, 4. And what's 9 minus 4? It's 5, okay? Now we have to get the same thing to prove that this formula is correct. So we have a minus b and a plus b. Okay, 3 plus 2 is 5, and 3 minus 2 is 1, and you multiply them and you equal 5. So now we proved number 3. Now let's move on to our next set of formulas. But before we do that, we have this is kind of like an important note. 3, let's write this down. We're explaining number 1 now. 3 minus 2, a minus b, is the same thing as negative 2 minus 3. Let's test it out. So what is 3 minus 2? 3 minus 2 is 1. What is first 2 minus 3? 2 minus 3 is negative 1 times negative, which is 1 also. So now we proved number 1. Number 2 is basically just saying that we're going to try this with the positive, but it should work with positive and negative. So we're going to test out number 2. Number 2 basically says 3 plus 2 squared. What's 3 plus 2? 3 plus 2 is 5. What's 5 squared? Is 25. Does not equal, should not equal, what is, we said that a is 3. 3 squared is 9. And we did plus, so what is b squared? B squared we said is 2. 2 squared and then 4. So what is 9 plus 4? 9 plus 4 is 13. So now we proved that this does not equal this, meaning 2 is valid. It's true. Now let's move on to our next set. So I'm going to just erase a little bit for more space. Just going to erase this. We're going to test out these. Okay, let's change the color since it's already blue. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. And don't forget, we're going to use the same numbers. So A equals 3, we said, and B equals 2. Okay, got this. So what is 3 cubed? An easy way to solve this, I know that 3 cubed is equal to 27, but if you don't know this, it's way better to memorize, but this is an easy way. What's 3 times 3? 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 equals 27. Okay, this is a way to go about the cubed, but it's way easier to have it memorized. So let's just get right into it. So we have the first rule saying 3 cubed plus 2 cubed equals 3 plus 2, and then 3 cubed, squared, minus 3 times 2 plus 2 squared. Okay, guys, so what is 3 cubed? 3 cubed, we said, is 27, plus what is 2 cubed? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8. Okay. And what is 27 plus 8? 27 plus 8 is 35. So they're supposed to equal. So let's test it out. 3 plus 2 is 5. And then 3 squared is 9. Minus, what's 3 times 2? 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 4. So let's solve these first. 9 minus 6 is 3 plus 4. What is 4 plus 3? It's 7. And let's multiply 5 times 7. And we know that 5 times 7 equals 35. So now we proved number 1. Let's move on to number 2. And I'm just going to erase this for space. So if you need to write this down, you can pause the video and write it down. Number 2 is saying, it's actually saying, I think, basically the same thing as number 1, but with minus. But for a reference, we're gonna test it out. Okay, so it's saying that 3 cubed minus 2 cubed equals, this is an equal sign, 3 equals 3 minus 2, and then 3 squared plus 3 times 2 plus 2 squared. Okay, let's test this out. Let's what? Let's test this out. Okay, so we said that 3 cubed is 27, and 2 cubed is 8. And what is 27 minus 8? 27 minus 8 is 19. And let's try out the next one. So what is 3 minus 2? It's 1. We're gonna multiply. What's 3 squared? 3 squared is 9, plus what's 3 times 2? 3 times 2 is 6. We have 6. And then plus 4, because 4 squared is, 2 squared is 4. We have to just simply add now. So what's 9 plus 6? 9 plus 6 is 15, plus 4 is 19. This proves that they are same form. They're the same thing, basically, that they equal each other. Okay, now let's test out number 3. We're going to change the color and keep the one above. Okay, so number 3 says 3 plus 2 squared, or no, it was cubed. Sorry, my bad. Cubed equals 3 cubed squared plus 3, and then we said a is also a 3, but this time we're going to put it inside. And then what is b? We said b is 2 plus 3ab squared plus b cubed. This is a cubed. Okay, let's get started. So what is 3 plus 2? 3 plus 2 is 5. What is 5 cubed? We know that 5 squared is 25. And what's 25 times 5? 25 times 5 is 125, which is this side. Okay? Okay, now that's 5 cubed. Now let's find the other side. We know that 3 cubed is 27, plus what is 3 to the power of 2? 9 times 3 times 2 plus 3 2 plus 2 3. Okay, we're just going to do all the exponents first. So this is 8, 3 times 3 is 9. I think you multiply 2 here. So plus, there's 2 times 9. 2 times 9 is 18, times 3 is 27. Okay, what is 18 times 3? 18 times 3 is 54. Okay, now what is 9 times 4? 9 times 4 is 36. And now you can add these together, and this is a plus sign, and then add 8. So what is 36 plus 48? It is 90 plus 8, which is 98 plus 27, and we know that 98 plus 27 equals 125, which is the same thing as this. I know this may seem like a little complicated here, but it's actually quite simple. All you have to follow is simply PEMDAS, the order of operations. It's easier than you would think. And now we proved number 3. let us prove number, let's do it in black because we have too much going on here and we want to differentiate. Okay, let's do number 4. Number 4 says 3 minus 2 cubed minus 3 cubed plus 3 and then a squared and then b plus 3ab. What is a? We said a is 3 and then b is 2 squared plus 2 squared. Okay, 3 minus 1 is, 3 minus 2 is 1, 1 cubed is just 1, because we know 1 to the exponent or the power of anything is 1. Okay, equals, it's supposed to, now all of this is supposed to equal 1. Okay guys, so 3 cubed is 27 minus 3 squared, which is 9. 9 times 3 is 27 times 2 and then plus 9 times 4 minus 8. This is where the 8 come from, this is where the 4 come from, this is where the 9s come from, and yeah. So let's simplify it even more. So negative 27, because we're multiplying it by 2 and then you're gonna minus it. And then you add 36, because why? Because 9 times 4 is 36, so we're done with that, and then minus 8. And then all of this, what is it supposed to equal? It equals 1, meaning this is correct. Guys, so I also want to point out that I believe that the formula was miswritten, like there's some typos, so let's correct them together, since I did it with you with the correct formula. So it's, this is going to be minus instead, and this is going to be plus, which is correct, and this is going to be minus. Now let's move on to our practice problems. Okay, so before we get started, I would like you guys to attempt the first one right now. So just pause the video and try to solve it by applying what we just learned. Okay, I hope you guys at least tried. So number 1 says if x squared minus y squared equals 1 over 4, find y squared minus x squared. So do you guys remember when we said that a minus b equals negative b minus a? We said that in our note section. Okay, so with that in mind, we can simply just apply it. So we know that they said that y squared minus x squared, that means it equals negative x squared minus y squared. That means they equal each other. Okay, so that means it's going to equal negative 1 over 4, and then you have the x squared minus y squared, and then you're gonna have it simply all of it is gonna equal 1 over 4, which means our answer in this case is A. If you guys were confused, we said in the note that basically this is going to equal this, meaning we don't really have to do all the work, but for reference, this is just going to equal this because of this rule. So now we know that our answer is A. Now let's move on to question number 2. Question number 2 says 2x plus 2 equals negative x plus 2. So I'm gonna show you, I guess, the just like the algebraic way to solve it. So we know that these are going to basically just cancel out, which is gonna leave us with 2x equals negative x, and then we're going to simply move the variable to the left, meaning we're going to have 2x plus x equals 0. And then we're gonna collect the like terms, which now we see there's 2 x's, or I mean 3, because this is the coefficient. So we're going to have 3x equals 0. And then we simply just divide both sides by 3, and then x is still going to equal 0, meaning our answer is C. Our answer is C. Okay, now let's move on to number 3. Number 3 says find y. Find y. And we have, our question is x to the power of 5 times x to the power of 4 times x to the power of 3 times x to the power of 2 equals x to the power of 7, and then with another exponent of y. And we're supposed to find this y, like we're supposed to find what it is. I want you guys to try to recall some basic rules. So we know that x to the power of a times x to the power of b equals x to the power of a plus b. So when we multiply the same bases, we simply just add the exponents. So this is very simple. We just add these. So what's 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2? It's going to equal 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. So it's going to be x to the power of 14 equals x to the power of 7, and then we have y. But we know that 2 times 7 equals 14, so we automatically know that the answer is 2. But to go about it in an algebraic way, we're going to put 14 equals 7y, and then we're simply just going to solve for y, and then it's going to give us y equals 2, and our answer is D. So basically, this is how you find it. This one is very simple. Just don't get tripped up by the question. Now let's move on to question number 4. Question number 4 says, if x plus y equals 8 and x times y equals 20, then find x squared plus y squared. So, do you guys remember this rule? It's like a plus or even minus, like, because they were the same thing. B to the power of 2 equals a squared plus b squared plus or minus, because if for both the plus and minus, they have the same rule, just with different signs. Okay, so you remember this, how we proved that they equal each other? So that's how we're going to find it. So we know that x plus y equals 8 because it was a given. It means all we have to do according to the rule is square it. Square it. It is x squared plus y squared plus 2x times y equals 64, because we simply just expanded it. And now we're going to just simply solve. So x squared plus y squared equals 64 minus 2x, because we simply just moved this to the other side. Move this here. Okay. Now, we can do x squared plus y squared equals 64, and then we're simply going to do 2 times 20. Why? Because they gave us that x times y equals 20, so we're simply just going to plug it in. Now we know that x squared plus y squared is equal to 24. Because why? Because 2 times 20 equals 40, and then 64 minus 40 is 24. Now we know our answer is C. Okay, let's move on to question number 5. This is our final question. I'm glad you guys are like pushing through. So let's get started. So it says a times b equals 6, and a squared plus b squared equals 13. Find a plus b squared. Okay, apply this rule. It's a plus b in this. Again, apply this rule. So a plus b squared equals a squared plus 2ab plus 2b squared. So I want you guys to recall and apply this rule right here. Okay guys, so we're simply going to rearrange this formula to match our question so we can easily solve it. So we're just going to rearrange it. So it's going to be a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. Why did we do that? Now we can simply plug it in because we know a squared plus b squared equals 13. And then we can add 2 times, we know a times b is 6. And then we simply do 2 times 6, which is 12, plus 13, which is equal to 25. And now we know our answer is B. This one is pretty simple, but I want you guys to kind of use your logic and use your knowledge of these formulas to kind of manipulate them to your own needing. Now you learned the formulas, now you can understand, apply them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me at wizworksyt@gmail.com. This is Wizworks. Thank you guys so much for watching this video.